Welcome in, fans, to Canandaigua Braves versus Spencerport Rangers. So the Rangers are going to look to draw first blood here against these 9-2 Canandaigua Braves. And you've got the first line in there at middies. You've got Grant, Morgan, and we've got the extra defender in there, Spaz. Man, you're talking like they're on offense here, you knucklehead. But Dom Galassi did that face-off there for Canandaigua, like I said, without the services of Luke McCroby. And Luke McCroby, he's been hot and cold through the first part of the season, but he's been on fire the last couple of games, and now Canandaigua without him. So let's see how much time Spencerport takes off that clock. They've already taken a minute off and haven't even got it inside the 20. Now they do. They go over on the far side, drawing the attention of Rude on defense, Will Rude. So led by, goal-wise, led by Justin Schauber. Meat starting things off here. I'll tell you what, dude has some very, very quick hands. Here's Camella with it over, I should say, on the near side. Gets it over to Meat, goes over to the far side. Long pole brings it up, sends it. A little too strong for Grant. And it's going to be picked up behind him by Canandaigua. So Canandaigua, and on midi right now you got Morgan. And there's Grant. He's going to get it right here in the slot. All right, who we got here? There's Braden Giuseppe. So then Sheridan, Alvaney, and Willemie, your first attack line. And it stays that way until a game is or isn't in the hand, and then there's no guarantee that he's going to go 2 or 3 deep, in that aspect. But we'll see how it goes. We'll be back on the air on Thursday for the big one, folks, the steel cage match, the rivalry game between Victor and Canandaigua. Victor undefeated. The ladies beating Canandaigua last night, took them to school, but a very experienced, very good Victor team. Very good defense. It was a defensive battle, no doubt about that. Braden Giuseppe bringing it down the right alley. The Deuces matching up, him and Sam Keynes. Keynes a senior with 15 goals. Giuseppe with 7 on the season. Picked up a Kicks on Main player of the game when he, as is customary, when he scored his first goal. Morgan draws the slide, finds Nate Sheridan. So Morgan to Sheridan. Sheridan right on the doorstep draws first blood for Canandaigua at 9-11. All right, so Nate Sheridan, the junior, knocks down number 11 on the season. That's apple number 10. So Morgan into double digits, and Mesh is going to come up with that face-off. So 2 in a row for Spencerport. This Canandaigua defense is going to be put to task here tonight. And there's one guy that can pass that muster, and that's Eric Platten over on the far side. They've got some very strong, very good defenders here for Canandaigua. Bolster, Black, Platten, Rude. They got some dudes that know how to play the game, no doubt about it. And some coaches that know how to coach it. Kyle Stanley, the defensive coordinator, national champion with Mercyhurst. Mesh comes down, loses the cradle, and it ends up with Meat. If that was a shot, he completely whiffed on it. I think he just lost the cradle. What do you think, Greg? Lose the cradle? Yeah, just lost the cradle. Wasn't a shot, but it ends up with Meat and Canandaigua in transition, and they do get it across with Jackson Grant. Jackson Grant going to go down south to Wingate. Jackson Grant with 19 goals on the season. So does Morgan. He and Morgan with 19 each, which is no surprise, as here is Alex Root in the game. Now scored his first goal a couple games ago against Hilton. Drew the Kicks on Main POTG, as is customary. Like I said, anybody knocking down their first high school or their first varsity goal is always going to get the POTG. And if there's 2 of them, well, there's going to be co-Kicks on Main players of the game. But anyway, let's take bets. Let's take bets. Who's going to get to 21st? Is it going to be Morgan or is it going to be Grant? I have my guess, but I'm going to keep it to myself. And here is Grant going down the right alley or right side of the slot, but he gets kicked out and has to come all the way over here to the near side over to Sheridan, who knocked down that goal from the great feed from Elliot Morgan to give Canandaigua first blood with 9:11 left to play in the first. Taylor Kay, the sophomore, in goal. 45 and 69. Well, now 70. Now 70. Here's Grant. Lets the right-hander go from the left-hand side. Bringing it up off the GLE. Lets it go. And over there is Alvani on the far side sideline. Because as you may or may not know, the team that's closest to the ball, when it goes out of bounds after the shot, gets possession. So if you're the shooting team, you retain possession. All right, Morgan working off the pick by Giuseppe. Comes down. Adax passes out in front. Too tall, a little too strong over here for Morgan, and it's going to go out of bounds, or I should say Jackson Grant. Oh, maybe it was deflected. My bad. My bad. I didn't see the deflection. Morgan going to go to St. Joe's, which is in Philadelphia. 6:15 left to play. Canandaigua up 1-0. Canandaigua has won their last 3 straight, including a win right here on Saturday against Corning. Out of Section 4, top team in Section 4, handed Corning, the Hawks, their first loss of the season. You know it. Handed them the first loss of the season. Now, I'm trying to find sponsorship to go down there for the ladies. The ladies are going to go down there. I can't remember. I think the fellas are playing the Grease Storm on that day. And I think for competitiveness, that girls' Corning game is going to be a little more competitive. You understand what I'm saying? So if anybody wants to sponsor that, get a hold of a brother. Canandaigua with it up at the top of the box. Morgan. Down the right hash marks going up against Mesh. Going to give it off to Alvani. Alvani is going to work off the screen at the long or deep X off of Willamie, and they're going to swing it all the way back up top over to Jackson Grant along the right-hand side. Now in the slot, draws the double, keeps possession. That's one thing you get when you're talking about Jackson Grant and Elliot Morgan and Willamie and those guys. They know how to retain possession. They know how to keep the ball. And one of the favorite moves by Jackson Grant, he loves that swim move. He loves doing that, but he's very good at it. So Alvani with it over on the far side. Out in front to Giuseppe, too strong, but it pops up right into the stick of Willamie. So Willamie draws the long pole way out here. Usually at X or on the GLE. Nobody behind for Canandaigua right now. So if they took the shot, it's going to be 50-50. Here's Sheridan on the near side along the numbers. Back to Grant with 4:30 left to play in the first, presented by Matt at the Motors. Our first quarter brought to you by Whitcomb Law. Here is a left-hand runner and a good save there. Nice stick save by Kay. So Grant lets the left-hand runner go, and I do think that was going to have far side nylon if Kay did not make that save. But Kay he sighted that bad boy in very nicely, and now the ball is going to end up on the carpet over there with Sammy Scapo. He does pick it up, long pass down here all the way deep into the Canandaigua defensive end. 3:50 left to play on the carpet scrum. Everybody whacking at it, going for it. Everybody's in on it, trying to get it. Platt is in there trying to clean house, and it is going to finally come out. And Mason Bolster is going to pick it up, give it to Meat over the shoulder to Elliot Morgan on the run. And just like that, Canandaigua gets it across midfield, and the clear is official as Rude steps into the box. Sorry, I said Elliot Morgan. That was Alex Rude. How rude of me to misidentify. No, I did. He ran similar to him, and I took a guess. It's a 50-50 shot, Gregor. You know what I mean? I came up on the wrong side of that one. 3-0, but I'll tell you what, if that's the worst thing I do all night long, I'm doing all right. Once again, thanks for joining us here on the station for Braves Nation, the home for high school sports, Chosen Spot Radio. In case you're just joining us, Canandaigua with 9:11 left to play took a 1-0 lead. Now here is a turnaround, wrap around the nets. Sean Alvaney. Alvaney goes into business for himself and puts up that crooked number with 2:50 left to play, and Canandaigua leads 2-0. So what we're seeing right now, Canandaigua being patient on offense, being patient, and the defense is just being its usual. You know, they all like playing defense, and playing defense, wanting to play defense, you have to have a different kind of mindset as it is. You've heard me talk about it. Here's Dom Galassi. He's going to pick up one for Canandaigua. Speaking of Dom Galassi, Roy's Restaurant at the corner of 96 and 20. See that segue? At the corner of 96 and 21. Go see Matt Galassi. Oh, they're going to throw it away. They're going to Willamie was, man, he would need about a 20-foot step ladder to be able to go down or climb that and bring that down. So Canandaigua cannot take advantage and ends up turning the ball over of themselves. Ball on the near side with Brenton Sheffield. He has an apple on the season, and the long pole brings it up. He's unchecked. He's going to go all the way down. And picking him up was Rude. Now everybody's going to settle in with 2:13 left to play. All right, I missed something. Offsides. All right, miss a call. Thank you, Greg. So, see, I'm not going to try to hide it from you, man. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake. I'm going to fess up to it. Willamie at the GLE. And in case you didn't know, GLE is just goal line extended, which is a horizontal line that runs off the sides of and straight out off of the uprights, the pipes, the goal, which is set at the 10-yard line if you're looking at a football field. The girls' game, they set it up right on the goal line, but right here it's at the 10-yard line. There are no fans, no 8 meters, no free positions here, man. You've got to earn everything you get, but there's no rules as to what kind of shot you can take. You can do whatever you got to do, man. If a defender's standing right in front of you 2 feet away and he lets you, shoot that thing right off his face mask, that's your problem. And here is Elliot Morgan. He's going to hit Sean Alvaney, and Alvaney is going to get his second straight for Canandaigua. And they're going to take a 3-0 lead with 1:19 left to play in the first.
This is independent professional wrestling champion JC Money, and you are listening, my friends, to Chosen Spot Radio.
So here we are with 1:18 left to play in the first quarter, brought to you by Pay File IQ and another face-off dub for Cameron Mesh. But winning those face-offs, they do lead 3-1, but they haven't gotten any goals. They still got that bagel on the board, so what that tells me is this Canandaigua defense is stepping up. And Coach York, without the services of their starting face-off, their Fogo guy, is going to have to rely heavily on this defense. And this defense is good enough to shoulder that burden. With 45 seconds left to play in the first quarter, ball at the X. Dom Galassi going to get some added play time here today. And hard shot and a stick save by Meat. And ball is loose, and Meat is not afraid to whack them all with that stick. No doubt about it. On the carpet, scrum, going after it. And I wouldn't want Camilla and Platt and Barron down on me. And the ball is going to roll all the way up to Meat. He's going to go over to the far side. He goes over to the far side, 15 left to play. Dom Galassi wants that bad boy right up here by midfield. Also up here to get a little action, Luke Black is up here, number 17. Long, and it almost bounded in. Long pass or shot. Who took that? Meat?
Lost the ball.
One of the defenders took a shot and it almost knocked it down, almost caught Spencerport sleeping. So at the end of the first, scores Canandaigua 3, Spencerport 0. We'll be right back with the second quarter. And we're back at it, and Galassi doing an admirable job, doing the best he can. But Mesh is just too strong for him. But Mesh gets 70% of his face-offs as it is, and Meat almost 70. So, man, or not Meat, Luke McCroby, 11:40. Yeah. Big deal, Spaz, man. 20 seconds taken off the clock, and you're... Come on, man. I'm throwing a strike on myself for that one. Spencerport at the X. Rude, is that Rude on defense? Yeah, let's, you know what? Even just some black or dark red piping around those gray numbers would help me out just a little bit. All Canandaigua first quarter leading 3-0. Spencerport trying to get rid of that bagel. Over here's Rude matched up with Mesh. Nobody on the island to get it to, so they go up top. Here's the shot. Saw that one coming. Nice overhead shot from about 7 yards away by the deuce, Sam Keynes. So the run for Canandaigua is over at 3, and that is Keynes gets the pass up top, overhander, knocks it down. 11 even left to play. All right, so Mandarano with the... See, now, his mom works here for Canandaigua. The coach told me it's Mandarano. Everybody here says they call her Mrs. Mandarano, so I'm going with Mandarano. You know what I'm saying? Back at the X. It gets kicked out to the wings, but Mesh is going to follow it. It followed his shot, and is going to pick it up. So Mesh right now with a 5-1 advantage at the faceoff. But again, that has not, I should say, translated very well into points, goals for Spencerport. But I got to give a shout out to the youth lacrosse movement here in Canandaigua. It used to be soccer. Soccer was the big thing, a handful of years ago. Lacrosse has slowly and steadily been growing and becoming more and more popular, and now it's just blown up, man. Everybody's a lacrosse player. You know why? Because being a lacrosse player is just cool. 10-10 left to play. Mesh down here up against Galassi. Brady Camella comes in. Stick check. He's going to pick it up. Man, that dude can play D. He gets it to Platten. Platten gets it over here across to Alex Root, and just like that, Canandaigua clears. Bada bing, bada boom. They have a good clear, a good ride, and those two losses came to very good quality teams. And let me see, Baldwinsville, and what was the other loss on the road? Brother Rice, yeah. So Brother Rice, anytime you say Brother Rice, you automatically think one of the best programs in the country, you know. So, and Canandaigua beat them the last time I was up there. They played in, what's that? 2017. Yeah, 2017. I remember that well, man. Mrs. Spazman went up there, and then we went to, oh, man. Where do we go for the wings? Duff's. Yeah, Duff's. Derp. All right, Morgan on the right-hand side of the slot. Pushed out into the alley by the short stick. Nice job there by Keynes to D him up. Now they switch on defense and put the long pole on Morgan, as is appropriate. Definitely would need the long pole on somebody like Elliot Morgan, and he still gets by. Lets the right-hand overhander go, and it goes out of bounds, and will stay with Canandaigua, because over here to be closest to it when it went out of bounds is Drew Willamie. Drew Willamie, the freshman, 10 goals on the season, 9 apples for 19 total points. So his total points are the goals that Grant and Morgan have, and we're still talking about who's going to be the first of those two to get to 20. Both have had opportunities. Pass out in front and a shot. And man, how did he make that save? How did he make that save? Vanny came in, was literally right on his grill, and he still made the save. Come away with it. Transition. Oh, they tried to get it over into the left wing of Anthony Rodriguez. The sophomore can't handle it, because if he had been able to handle that hot pass, it would have been, we might have a 3-2 game here, but Meat definitely would have had to work hard on that one, because he was right on the doorstep. Canandaigua clears with Jackson Grant. They bring it across, no problem. Vanny says, all right, I'll get out of the way. Alvaney heads up. What do we got? We had Sheridan and 2 by Alvaney, and Elliot Morgan with a 2-point game going with 2 assists. So each goal and each assist is worth 1 point. So when I run them down, the first one's goal, second one's assists, third is total points. So at least the rain is let up. I don't want to throw a jinx out. I don't want to, and no real rain to speak, or wind, I should say, to speak of. So 7:25 left to play. Canandaigua up 3-1, taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, and before they, so that timeout was one of a couple different, could have been one of a couple different things. One, they need to figure out something that Spencerport did defensively, or they had taken enough time. They were a little worried about maybe getting, a stall warning or something thrown at them. So they figured, let's get together and talk about it. Hey, this is boys high school lacrosse on the home for high school sports, Chosen Spot Radio.
Canandaigua Record Exchange is Canandaigua's chosen spot for new and used vinyl. Boogie on down to their little slice of Nirvana at 170 Mill Street and check out their inventory of new and used records that span many genres and eras, as well as CDs and music-related swag. If it isn't in stock, John can order it for you. Make sure you tune into the New Release Friday podcast on Spotify or at CanandaiguaRecordExchange.com to get a heads up on what's coming through the door. Voted Best Specialty Shop for 2021. Call them at 585-376-2321 and find out how they're making 2022 even better. Canandaigua Record Exchange.
Hey, this is John Isaac from Shootout for Soldiers Canandaigua, and you're listening to Spazman on Chosen Spot Radio.
All right, so the Shootout for Soldiers is going to be at the end of July right here at Braves Field. 30th and 31st, isn't it? I believe the Shootout. July, last weekend for sure in July. I'll get the specific dates, but the Canandaigua Lacrosse Boosters would like to thank their sponsors. You've got Brian Root Orthodontics and Finger Lakes Dental Care, Eric's, as well as Greenfront. For recycling, and we'll get to more as time goes by. 7:05 left to play here in the first half. Ball over on the left alley with Grant. Grant brings it down the left alley, kicks it behind to, and they circle back all the way up top, and here's a right-hand runner overhand for Elliot Morgan, and he missed that one substantially. I might have to bust the chops about that one, but it's fun to watch them guys try to keep working at something, whether it is or isn't necessarily producing. They love that overhand shot, especially the runner, and a lot of times here's Morgan. He's going to kick it behind to Willamie, the freshman. Jackson Grant wheels it over through the slot, now in the right alley, drawing the attention of Brenton Sheffield, the junior. I didn't get any college commits for anybody from Spencerport. 6:05 left to play. Morgan, Grant, Giuseppe, your midi line. Giuseppe, right alley. GLE coming over. Willamie sets the pick, but Keynes has no problem getting around that. There was plenty of room there. They give it back to Willamie, 5:45. Canandaigua up 3-1. Game time 7:28. So anybody who wants to watch that dirt race from Bridgeport, go get on Dirt Vision right now. Or no, is it dirt? Probably Flow Racing, I would imagine. Right-hander by Grant. So a feed from the bottom. And Jackson Grant is going to be the first to get to 20. That was a bouncer that hit the underside of the crossbar and then found the nylon. So Jackson Grant is going to get number 20 on the season with 5:27 left to play. All right, so Willamie with the feed from the bottom up to Jackson Grant hanging out at the top with 5:27 left to play. Canandaigua now leading 4-1. Face off on the carpet. It's going to be picked up by Keens. So another face off. But as I said, I think, everybody who kind of knew what was going on kind of anticipated what is happening, as we speak. But the junior Cameron Mesh coming into today with 106 wins and only 45 losses. That's pretty good. That's pretty good numbers. That's not T.D. Erlin numbers, but here's a nice check by Bolster. Ball is on the carpet, and it's going to be picked up by Rude on the run. So Rude with the long pole, Will Rude. Oh, he's going to come across and get hit by Keens from behind. And let's see what the deal is there. Did we see a flag or anything on that, or they're just blowing the whistle? Okay, blowing the whistle, and they get to restart over on the far side, and it's going to get checked. Yes, strike. Come on, Spaz man, strike 1.5. Brenton Sheffield with the trailing check is going to get the ball back over for Spencerport, trying to close that 4-1 gap. See if they can close that 3-goal gap. It's overcast, no doubt about it, but it's May. It's late spring. It's no big deal. Summer's just around the corner. Dirt racing every weekend, baby. Friday, Saturday. Whoa! I think the airmail just got here. Airmail is in the house. Austin Mandarano, he sailed that one, and it goes to Canandaigua. So swapping turnovers with 3:55 left to play. Platten is going to pass it up ahead, gets it to Grant on the run down the slot, left wing, right around the 25, kicking it out. I believe that is Giuseppe. So here is Alex Rude. Jackson Grant going to direct traffic. That's what team leaders do. Told him to get it down to Alvaney. Now he's going to bail, and coming back across is Elliot Morgan. So now the first line is in, and then the same attack line as we always see. Alvaney, Sheridan, and Willamy. Willamy with it at the X up against Sean Baird. So now over here on the left wing with Jackson Grant. Face dodge, comes down, lets it go, and the bouncer's good. Jackson Grant with 2 in a row for Canandaigua. Does the face dodge, score that dodge shooter goal with 3:03 left to play in the first half. I've got to say that Jackson Grant is probably one of the better dodgers in the game here in Section 5. No, I got to give him, and that's just because he's so quick. He's so quick, and he retains possession. A lot of times you see the moves that he likes to execute, and a lot of times you see the ball getting kicked out of the stick or getting checked. But back at the face-off, and Dom Galassi almost got one there, but it is going to come up the mesh, and they do continue to dominate. And then on the fast break, they're going to get it ahead. I believe that's Mandarano going to get number 26 on the season. So that was quick. So just like that, that's how fast it can happen. Mandarano, he's on a 2-point game right now, because he had, that's 26 on the season. So Schnauber on the assist. All right, man, I've got every assist so far, and it comes at 2:52 to make it 5-2. And here's another face-off win for Spencerport. So Spencerport 8-1 so far in the face-off category. I was asked to umpire some modified baseball today, but because I had the game, I didn't want to have to hurry from, umpiring one game to getting over here. I just didn't want to hurry, so I passed on that. But just for the record, I would have loved to do that game. Here is the ball now at X with Spencerport. Pass out in front. Nice job on the ball movement, and a nice job getting the ball right inside the island. And that is going to be Schnauber is going to get his first. And for the first time, the Rangers. So Rodriguez on the assist. That's his 10th. So for the first time today, with 2:13 left to play, and the score now 3-5, Schnauber. Spencerport has been able to string together 2 consecutive goals. So we're back at the face-off circle, right in the middle. Here it is, and we've got Galassi is going to get called on a violation. So another goes to Spencerport. But like I said, it was, it was the world's worst kept secret. 2 minutes left to play here in the first half. Brought to you by Family Hair and Patty's Place. Thank you very much for your support. Appreciate that. Right alley. Kick it back. Deep X. Back there with Anthony Rodriguez. Got an apple on that last play. And Keynes is going to get inside. Gets by the defense. Turned away by Fayola. Rebound comes out to Platten. Platten, the Yale commit. He's going to go and play men's lacrosse. Oh, and that's a rarity. You see Eric Platten going down on contact. That's the first time I've seen that, man. So the deuce, Sam Keynes, has bragging rights to say that Platten went down when he threw the shoulder into him. You got to be a strong dude to be able to say you just did that. 1:15 left to play. But I guarantee you that won't get inside the head of Platten, no doubt. The dude he's strong. He knows what he's doing. Stoppage in play with the score. Canandaigua 5, Spencerport 3. You're listening to Boys High School Lacrosse on the station for Braves Nation, the home for high school sports, live and worldwide. Chosen Spot Radio.
Family Hair in Canandaigua provides hair cutting, coloring, waxing, and perm services to women, men, kids, the whole family. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Swing by the Family Hair Salon at 306 Eastern Boulevard and see how Jerry and her stylist can hook you up with the look that you desire. Walk-ins are welcome at Family Hair, or give them a call at 585-412-6134 to set up an appointment. Family Hair.
This is Eli. You're listening to Chosen Spot Radio.
All right, that's my 10-year-old grandson bumping us back in. I think that's probably 3 years old at least, so he probably did that when he was 6 or 7, but I found that laying around in the mothballs when I was going through the computer, cleaning it out a little bit to give myself a little bit of space. Shout out to Abby Harrod, Under Armour All-American, going to go play in the senior game, all that good stuff. A lot of great stuff going on, not only here at Canandaigua, but in Section 5. Section 5 in New York is very strong in high school lacrosse, no doubt about that. And there's a lot of good college lacrosse going on, too. So Keynes is going to lose the handle. Camella over there whacking on him, and he is going to get inside and got a flag. So I think Brady might have got a little over anxious there, but 45 seconds left to play here in the first, so that won't stop play until Canandaigua gets possession or Spencerport scores. Ball up top with Rodriguez. They swing it over to the slot. Morgan is there to try to knock it down, but Mesh is going to pick it up. 30 seconds, final 30 seconds here in the first half. Mesh going to try to wrap around. Can't. Comes over here to Keynes. Keynes swings it up to the top, now on the right-hand side of the slot. Bringing it down as Rodriguez lets it go, and I think Meat got a piece of that one. And with Meat making that save and Canandaigua getting the possession, And I love it. There it is, man. I talked about it, I think, at Hilton, and you see it now, the jog of shame, man, when those defenders, every single defender does it, Greg. They all jog that slow jog of shame over to the sin bin. It's hilarious, man. But you see these players that are going, crazy speed-wise. It's going to go against Brady Camella, just a little over anxious, overzealous with that. So the emo for, let's see here, Canandaigua 33. What was that, slash?
I'm surprised they'll hold this with the way they're dominating the face-off.
No doubt. And time is going to expire here on the first half. Sorry, I was trying to do some housework and figure some stuff out. But the first half is going to come to an end with the score 5-3. All right, so because of the penalty, the Spencerport Rangers are going to start the third quarter, the second half, with the ball. We won't have the face-off. And there's 40 seconds left in that emo for Spencerport. So coming out of that, not only does it carry, but it gives the ball to Spencerport to start the second half. So they swing it over. They're just working around. It's like a tight zone defense. Canandaigua very good at man-to-man defense. Everybody knows their job, and they do it well. Hard pass over to the side, trying to get it to mesh. A little too hard to handle and unable to take advantage. Well, there's still 10 seconds. Oh, here we go. Take away by Spencerport and then taken away right back by Canandaigua. So Rude picks it up off the carpet, and Coach York is going to have to call a timeout and stop the clock with 11:16 left to play. Still 3 seconds in that emo for Spencerport in that penalty to Brady Camella. You're listening to Boys High School Lacrosse. 11:16 left to play coming out of that timeout by Canandaigua. They get to reset. And ball over here now with Fayola. Over to the near side. Defense brings it up. Quick pass ahead to Morgan from Bolster. And Canandaigua gets it inside the box and are set to go. Sheridan, Willamie, Alvaney. And first line is in. We've seen a lot of this line. That's Connor McKenna in now, I should say. He's going to get a little bit of Accione, but he's going to end up going off. And I believe Zet Giuseppe came across now at the X. They bring it over to Sheridan in the left alley. He gets around the defender, draws the slide, so they go to Willamie at X up top to Morgan. Oh, man, I'm surprised he didn't pull the trigger there, man. So once again, Grant over on the far side, and Giuseppe down the middle now going to switch, going to move around. Nope, everybody stays. Now they switch. So Morgan goes over to the right, and now in the left alley is going to be Grant. Man, almost we've seen them throw that pass away a couple times. So Morgan up top. Runs it down along the slot on the right-hand side. Out in front, all by himself is Giuseppe. Giuseppe, a man on an island of his own, gets the feed from Elliott Morgan, is able to not only have free hands to shoot that with, he was able to step down, take a step, couple steps, wind up, let it go, and there was not a whole lot that Kay was going to do. Comes at 9:59. Let me see here. Canandaigua second in a row. That's Giuseppe from Elliott Morgan, his third apple on the day. It comes at 9:59 left to play in the third and makes it 6-3 Canandaigua. And for Giuseppe, that is number 8 on the season. Had all day. That defense lost Braden Giuseppe, and he was, like I said, a man on an island all his own. Mesh tries to pick it up. Can't win. Has picked up, starting to come out of the southwest, if you ask me. Still on the carpet, and there's a flag. And those officials toss that flag way up there. So it is finally going to be picked up by Dom Galassi. Dom Galassi lays out the long pole, who had just picked that up. I believe that was Ashton McNair, the freshman, and he got leveled. But let's see what the call is. I did not see the signal, but it looks like it's going to go against Canandaigua. It does. It goes against Canandaigua, and I'll get out the binocs and see who's in the sin bin. That's going to be Will Rude. So Will Rude, Canandaigua, 27. What was that, a crawl? I believe it was a quick 30 seconds, so it had to be a push. It was a quick 30 seconds, so let's see if Spencerport can take advantage of being a man up, and just as I say that, they throw it away, and it comes all the way down here into Canandaigua territory, and a nice job by Nate Sheridan to block out, use his body to block out. He took man and ball, let the ball screened out the long pole of Spencerport and allowed it to roll out of bounds off of Spencerport. So Canandaigua able to no goal. So doing some new housekeeping here with my score sheet and doing a couple things. So you might catch me talking to myself every now and then. You get me, talking to whoever's up here running the camera. Usually here it's always Greg for the boys, and he's a good dude, man. He's a good dude, and I always say thanks for letting me be me. 8:30 left to play here in the third. Canandaigua up 6-3. Over the Spencerport Rangers. Up top to Giuseppe right at the 25-yard line. He backs out. Sophomore. Up top to Sheridan. Sheridan started the scoring out with 9:11 left to play to make it 1-0 in the early on in the game. Elliot Morgan is going to go over to Alvaney over on the far side. Misplays it, but runs it down. And I'll tell you one more thing. One thing you see a lot more of in today's game is left-handed. And then you got players who are always moving the stick. Left hand, right hand. You got to be just as good with the left as you are the right. One you're naturally going to be stronger at. Unless you're ambidextrous. I did that on purpose, Greg. Sheridan swings it, rolls it all the way around to the far side, gives it to Elliot Morgan. Morgan behind to Willoughby, looking for somebody out front on the island, doesn't have anybody. So leans in on the defense. Why not? Here's Giuseppe. He's going to go through the slot over the far side, 7:10 left to play. Canandaigua, and there's the stall warning right there. But I was just about to say Canandaigua kind of pushing the envelope a little bit. Here's Willoughby battles away, or I should say through and away from the double slide. A lot of physicality, a lot of contact. Let him play. 6:45 left to play here in the third. Canandaigua up 6-3. Alvaney leans in, brings it up to the GLE, looking out in front, nobody there. Up top to Morgan. Morgan runs it down to right hand, lets it go, and it's good. Elliot Morgan with 6:29 left to play makes it Canandaigua 7, Spencerport 3. All right, so Canandaigua leading 7-3. Elliot Morgan is he's right there, tied once again with Jackson Grant, both with 20 goals now. Back at the X, back at the face-off. It's a scrum. It gets kicked out. Still loose before being picked up by Canandaigua. Picked up by Rude for Canandaigua. Their first win since early on in the first. Camella brings it across, gets it off to Sheridan. 6 minutes left to play. So Brady, the defensive player, Domcom, the offensive player, playing, I believe, midi for RIT, number 3 in the country. Sheridan in the end zone. 5:35 left to play in the third. Coda. Canandaigua now up 7-3. As the bells ring 8 o'clock even. So again, seeing a lot of this offensive set that's on the field right now. Morgan, Grant, and Giuseppe. With Grant over on the right lane, and this is as good for them condition-wise as anything else. Conditioning to be out there. It's all about the second season, dude. Everything you do now is to get ready for sectionals because it's all about getting that block. 5 minutes, trying to pass it out front. Alvaney on the island. Mesh knocks it down. One pass clear out here to Jaden Rodriguez, the freshman. 2 goals on the season. Good job by that Canandaigua defense to get back and disallow them from taking it right to the nylon up against meat. 4:40 left to play. Working hard out here on the right alley. They get it to Keynes. Keynes loses it without knowing it. It's on the carpet, but it's going to be run down by John Choate. He's got 3 and 6 for 9, does the junior. 4:20 left to play here in the third. Spencerport down the middle. Kick it over in the right lane, back to X. Spin dodge. Working up against Eric Platt, and you got to work a little harder than that, man. A little spin dodge isn't going to hurt that dude. Pass over to Anthony Rodriguez is loose, and Platten's going to pick it up and get it over here to me. Canandaigua in transition with that 7-3 lead. Looking to get the double digits, looking to get to 10. Spencerport enjoyed their best season, at least dating back to 2003 when they finished 13-3 last season in Class A, though. Played, I believe they lost in the quarters to Penfield. 3:20 left to play in the third quarter. What do we got? Canandaigua record exchange. It's on the carpet. Wasn't played cleanly by Sheridan. Now up in the air. Nobody knew where it was. And it is going to come down and go to Spencerport. Not a very fortuitous series there for Canandaigua. But they are on the 7-3 lead, so they can afford to give up one if they end up getting one. But you only got to win by one, especially in one-and-done situations. So over here on the right alley with Jaden Rodriguez, the freshman. He's going to go all the way over to the X. He's going to bring Rude with him. Rude gets picked out, pass out in front. Man, that was a nice feed and a great finish. Great finish by Keynes. So Keynes going to end the run for Canandaigua at 2. Yeah, that's okay. That's one. All right, so that and that. All right, so, yeah, Sam Keynes, he's going to get his second on the day. And I believe that was Jaden Rodriguez on the feed. So I'm just going to go number 15 there, 225. Makes it 7-4, and 7-4 doesn't look as ominous as 7-3 does. Here we're back at the face-off. Mesh is going to carry it all the way down. It's going to go out of bounds off of Spencerport. So I'm recording that as a face-off win for Canandaigua. 2-10. Hey, they need as many as they can get. I don't know if a statistician would, but Brady Camella brings it across, man. He just runs like a strong dude, man. He's got what's that?
Being the dad of a defender, I'd say that was.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, he's got tree trunks for legs, dude. Man, Brady Camella does. But anyway, Canandaigua leading 7-4 with 1:40 left to play. After that face-off, pinballed around, went off of everybody, but it ended up going out off of, I believe, Cameron Mesh over on the far side. So let's see how long Canandaigua sets in on offense this time. Here is Giuseppe left alley. Gets by the defender, passes to Alvaney, and Alvaney gets, I don't know, did he whiff on that? I don't know. What's that?
Hit the goalie in the helmet.
Yeah, okay. Off the helmet. And, man, that's funny, man. Hit him off the helmet. All right, man. My eyes are going on me, Greg. Final minute of play.
I heard it. That's like
doink. So with 58.7, ball is going to be awarded back to Canandaigua. Final Manutski. Here's Alex Rude. 1 goal on the season, back to Jackson Grant. Grant to Sheridan. Once again, seeing a whole lot of that first line. Got to get them to where they're mesh, able to read each other. Final 25 seconds here in the third quarter. Canandaigua up, as I said, 7-4. Elliot Morgan down the slot. Gets pushed out to the right alley. Can't let it go. Doesn't have the angle. Passes out in front. Shot. No good. And great hustle. Great hustle by Spencerport to run that down in the corner. Man, that was good hustle. Let me get that note. Yeah, that was Keynes. That was Keynes after the shot from the right-hand side. Long pass out in front with time winding down, and final frame, 12, and Mesh is going to come up with another one, and the Rangers just, dominant's the only word you can use, but, Dom Galassi, not a lot of experience at taking face-offs. Canandaigua up 7-4. At the end of the first, it was looking like Canandaigua might have their way with Spencerport, and then Spencerport battled back in, tried to get it over to the right side, but the pass ended up leading Mandarano out of a good angle. So Spencerport gonna swing it over to the left alley along the numbers. Bringing it back up is Anthony Rodriguez. Working off the screen by Mesh, now coming back the other way. And Mesh on the pick and roll is going to let it go, and it's going to go wide right. I can't tell if Meek got a piece of that or not, but basic pick and roll right there, Greg. You know what I'm saying? So 10:50 left to play to use basketball ease. And they're going to get it ahead to Dom Galassi, Platten directing traffic. I love to watch the senior captains directing traffic, telling players that don't have, the underclassmen or the younger players without as much experience, mentoring them, bringing them along. Willamy working hard at the X. Canandaigua with that 7-4 lead. See if they're going to wheel it around the outside, and just as I say that, they do bring it in, and Mesh is going to pick up the loose ball, and here comes Spencerport in transition on the fast break. Canandaigua back on defense, though, so they're going to have to get it over to the right alley and settle in and give Spencerport to make sure, an opportunity to make sure they have all the personnel on the field. Nice job there by Bolster to knock down the ball carrier, and looks like before they cough the ball up in trouble, I do believe Spencerport is going to call a timeout. All right, folks, coming back out of that timeout, 9:45 left to play here in the final frame. Spencerport with it at the X, right at the goal line. And nice switch defensively. Galassi going to pick the ball up. Now going to come out intercepted, knocked down by Rude. Rude on the long pole, can't run it down. It's at midfield. And Spencerport's going to run it back down from behind. Justin Schnauber, the senior. Schnauber's got one. Yeah, he's got one and an assist. He helped on one and then scored the next one. Schnauber with one's got 10 on the season, so we got the double digits. Goal line extended up against Eric Platt. And going to give it up right up around the 35, back up to Schnauber. Schnauber working against Will Rude. 8:40 left to play. Canandaigua 3-goal buffer, leading 7-3. Bolster, good defense. Canandaigua plays good defense, no doubt. Here's the right-hander, and it's good. Beats Meat on the left-hand side, and it's going to be Keynes. So Keynes with, I believe, the Hattie. Yeah, that's the Hattie for Keynes. And that comes with 8:28 left to play. I'll tell you what, Greg, that's a different landscape right there, 7-5. 7-5 is a heck of a lot different than let's say 6-3 or 7-3. So they've been able to score the last two. And with 8:28 left to play, that's a lot of time with just a 2-goal differential. And Mesh is going to come up with it. And the dominance of Spencerport at the face-off continues. But in case you're just joining us, two things. Where have you been? And secondly, Canandaigua, without the services of their starting Fogo face-off get-off, Luke McCroby, not able to play today. I didn't get any further information. Almost coughing it up. Platten almost running it down, using the stick, trying to slow down, ends up losing it. Platten is going to pick it up. Ends up Anthony Rodriguez, instead of getting a good shot off. Boy, I'll tell you what, you beat Eric Platten. You beat that guy, him and Camella. They're going to, they'll make you pay for it. They're not going to give up on you. They're not just going to stand there and let you go and say, all right, go ahead. So let's see who Canandaigua has in it. And for some reason, it's always harder to see the jerseys on this end than on that end. I think that end might be a little darker. I could be wrong, Greg. I don't know. Not much. A little bit, but not a whole lot. Willamie, Alvaney, Grant, Giuseppe, Morgan, and Sheridan. Your offensive 6 for the Braves. Sean Baird, Sammy Scapo. Morgan brings it down. Willamie behind. Looking for Grant over here on the near side. Grant and Morgan both at 20 goals. Who's going to get to 21 first? Morgan with the fake move one way, lets it go the other way and knocks it down. Elliot Morgan is going to be the first to get to 21, and I believe that is going to be the, nope, that's his second. But Canandaigua ends the run for Spencerport at 2. That's Morgan's second. Yeah, I'm not going to do that anymore. It adds too much. So, yeah, I'm just, trying to figure out how I want to do things here. Comes at 6:29, his 21st on the season, and makes it 8-5. So Canandaigua with that 3-goal buff. Here it is. Out the face-off, going to be picked up and possessed by Spencerport, and they do get it down onto the island. They got it down to Schnauber, but Schnauber out there all alone behind the defense, was unable to make the play. It ends up with Theola, and Canandaigua transitions into offense. So again, had Schnauber wide open, all by himself behind the defense, right in the middle of the island. It would have been mano a mano if he had been able to make that play, if he didn't go for something fancy like a backhander or something of that nature, some type of quick stick backhander or something. It would have been just one-on-one, but unable to make the play. So Alex Rude, Giuseppe, and Grant, your middies. Coach with that 3-goal buffer with 5:15 left to play. Going to give a couple different looks here and there. Elliot Morgan making his way in, though. He's going to send Alex Rude back over to the sideline. So Alvaney with it at the X. Up against the short stick of Jaden Rodriguez. Morgan lets a right-hand runner go from sidearm. Goes out of bounds. Back there to get it, though, for Canandaigua is Drew Willamie. Willamie, one of those players that just kind of always seems to be in the right place at the right time, and he's only going to get better being a freshman. Wind has picked up quite a bit. Jackson Grant, that dude can run, dude. He will run and run. He's bringing Brenton Sheffield with him. Sheffield tasked with covering Jackson Grant, right-hand runner from the left-hand side. And 4 Canandaigua players couldn't get to it first. But that's good hustle by Spencerport. Trying to get that number. That's number 16, Luke Heinzler, the junior. Able to get closest to it when it goes out of bounds after the shot. So gives Spencerport, listen, with 4:05 left to play, 3 goals is not insurmountable, man. You knock one down, you win a couple face-offs. Next thing you know, you got a different game. So let's see if the Rangers can close that gap. 8-5, Canandaigua leading. It was 3-0 at the end of the. I'm looking at the wrong one, man. Yeah, at the end of the first. And takeaway by Canandaigua. Ooh, long pass. Long pass over here to Bolster. He does pull it down. Bolster up ahead to, man, he didn't even have the ball when that hit. Come on now. Come on now. Luke Breck just got laid out and gave up the ball, and here comes Keynes back the other way, and Meat got a piece of that. Meat, I think, I don't know, Meat voicing his displeasure was something, or unless he's just getting riled up. That was a good save. Crazy how they can laser that in. And here's a bouncer from just about, 6-7 yards out. And that is going to be Mandarano. So Mandarano is going to get his second. So Mandarano gets his second, comes at 3:08 left to play. And just like that, we once again have a 2-goal game. But every time Spencerport starts to reel that fish in, Canandaigua comes and cuts the line. You know what I mean? So they just start to get closer, and then Canandaigua knocks one down to make it back to 3 goals. So Mandarano, that's his second. Boom. And his 27th on the season. Face-off is going to be picked up by Keynes. He's going to bring it right down, let it go. And trying to come right down and get a quick score like I was prognosticating. And it's simple playbook. You know, you got to score quick. You only got 2:45 left to play, but you're only down by 2. So if you're Spencerport, you got to be feeling pretty good about yourself right now. Pass out in front. We got a one just like that. I don't know, man. Am I putting a curse on Canandaigua here? Woo-wee. Man, I'm telling you, I don't know if that was Mesh. I'm not sure who that was. Not sure who it was, but Spencerport gets second one in a row. Comes at 2:36, and we're one face-off away from a completely different game. All right, so it's Schnauber. Schnauber with his second from Rodriguez. So Schnauber's second. And like I said, we're one face-off away from having a tie game here with plenty of time to go. Canandaigua's defense has to step up. They have to stand strong right here. They need a big stop. Need a big stop from that vaunted Canandaigua defense. Right down the slot. Jackson Grant on the defense. Does a good job covering the 22 of John Choate. Loose on the carpet. Platten trying to do a good job, gets pushed from behind. He's going to get pushed from behind by Anthony Rodriguez. So great job there by Rodriguez to pick up that 50-50 ball. And speaking of which, it's going to come down to Meat. He passes it up here. It's too strong. It's picked up by Mesh. So a rare turnover there by Canandaigua. You never see Meat make a pass like that. Hard passes. I'll tell you what, Spencerport moving that ball around very quickly right now. Whew. Man, Meat did the jump pass. Went way over the shoulder of, I don't know, was that Morgan he was trying to hit out here? But whoever he was trying to hit on the fast break to clear went too strong, and Mesh was in the right place at the right time, ran it down for the Rangers. Looking to tie this thing up, and Coach Butero is going to call a timeout with $1:09 left to play, and Canandaigua leading 8-7. Spencerport has been able to come back from trailing 3-0 at the end of the first to being 1 goal away from tying this thing up with just over a minute left to play. So ball behind with Rodriguez. He has a couple assists. He's going to wheel around over to the far side. Platten. They're going to force the ball back up top. They get it up top with Choate. Choate brings it down the right-hand side. Goes to X to Mesh. Or I should say Rodriguez. Where's Mesh? You got to keep an eye on that dude. 35 seconds left to play. Are we going to overtime? Canandaigua will make the stop. There's your drama. There's your theater. Theatre. Spell it right, will ya? They're going to have to move on the nylon here pretty soon, down to 20. Rude. Great defense. Shot. Tie game. Shot from the middle by Schnauber. And Schnauber, third in a row for Spencerport. Schnauber's hat trick. And we have a ball game here, folks, with 15.6 left to play. Wow. Who would have called this one, Greg? 8-8 with 15.6. It is Elliot Morgan. Elliot Morgan on the draw for Canandaigua. They need the foot speed going after that loose ball after it gets kicked out. All right, here it is. It's going to grind out. Elliot Morgan, and Mesh is going to come up with it. Mesh, huge, and coming up with that face-off. With this possession out in front, and there it is, the go-ahead goal. The go-ahead goal off of the quick transition, and it's going to be Mandarano. Spencerport, 4 in a row here, outscoring Canandaigua 5-1 in the final frame, and it all starts at the getting possession of the ball. So with 4.7 left to play, Spencerport takes their first lead of the game, and they have now scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the last 7 goals.